There are a number of operators that Apex supports, and in this video, we are going to take a look at few of them. By now, we already know about the assignment operator, and it's a equals to symbol. So if I need to give you an example again, this is how it looks like. Integer x and assigning a value 5 to it. So here this equals to symbol is called assignment operator, and it always assigns the value on the right hand side expression to the left hand side variable. Now let's have a look at the operators that allow us to add values, subtract values, divide values, or multiply values. And these are very simple to use. So let's first explore the addition operator. I'm also going to put a debug statement here just to print my x value. Now let's say I want to add 5 in my x value. So I can use my assignment operator and my addition operator for that. And this is how it looks like. So this plus symbol here is called addition operator. And what it does, it adds the value on its right hand side expression and on its left hand side expression and give a total result. So now we know that x value is 5 and we are adding 5 more to it. So the final value of x will be 10 because this assignment operator will take the complete value of its right hand side expression, which is like 10 now, and then it will put that to the x again. So after this statement, the x value will be 10. Similar to addition operator, we have subtraction operator as well, multiplication operator as well, and the division operator as well. Okay, so a subtraction operator looks like a minus symbol, and it always subtract the value of right hand side expression from the left hand side expression. So on line number 10, the x value is 10 because we have added 5 to it on line number 6. Then we are subtracting 5 from it. So the final value of x will become 5 again. Then the multiplication operator looks like a star symbol. And what it does, it multiplies the value of its left expression with the right expression. So here the final value of x will be 25. And very similar to the multiplication operator, we have the division operator as well, which divides the left hand side expression by the right hand side expression. And we use a backslash to represent a division operator. So now here the final value of x will again become 5. Let's print all these values and let's quickly execute our program. So the first value of x was 5, then we added 5 to it, so it became 10, then we subtracted 5 from it, then it again became 5, then we multiplied it by 5, so it became 25, then we divided it by 5, so it became 5 again. Let's move on, and now I'm going to talk about the increment operator and the decrement operator. So if you look at line number 6, we are adding 5 to x, right? But what if we have to add only 1 to x? So this is how it will look like. X equals to x plus 1, right? But there is a short version to it. Instead of using the addition operator, you can use the increment operator. So I'll simply comment this line, and after that I'm going to put increment operator. And if you want to use the increment operator instead of the addition operator, this is how it looks like. That's it. You just need to use your plus symbol twice. So this will eventually be the same thing as x equals to x plus 1. So let's print our x value after this. And very similar to this increment operator, we have decrement operator as well. And let's copy all this stuff. Only thing is, instead of using plus here, we need to use minus. And this will be similar as x equals to x minus 1. So both are same thing. Now let's have a look at even better version of this addition, subtraction and multiplication and division operator. And these are called addition assignment operator, subtraction assignment operator, multiplication assignment operator, and division assignment operator. Let me just first comment here. Now let's go back to our addition operator again. And this is how we were using it. So let me just put that here in the comments so that we know how we used our addition operator. And you can write the same statement using addition assignment operator as well. First, you need to give your variable here. And then since we are using the addition operator and the assignment operator in the same expression, so what we can do, you can use plus equals to 5 and that's it. So this is eventually is same thing as x equals to x plus 5. And if you want to add 10 to it, you can simply do x plus equals to 10. And you can even replace your increment operator where we only add one value to simply like this, x equals to x plus equals to 1. So this is similar as x plus plus, let me write it, or x equals to x plus 1. So all these things are similar here. Let me just, remove it. I'm going to use only x plus equals to 5 here. And very similar to this addition assignment operator, we have the subtraction assignment operator as well, the multiplication assignment operator as well, and division assignment operator as well. So I'm going to copy this 3 more times. The first one will be subtraction. I'm going to remove the second comment. And here, instead of using plus equals to, you need to use minus equals to. And this is eventually as the same thing as x equals to x minus 5. We can also use the multiplication assignment operator as well, which is same thing as replacing this plus with this stuff. And this is how it will be evaluated by the Apex compiler. And then let me remove this one as well. And let's call it division assignment operator. And this is how you can use it. So it's eventually is the same thing as x by 5. Let me remove this statement as well. And now let's execute our code again. Oh, we did not use the debug statements. Let's first put the debug statements everywhere. Let's go to the debug logs and it's working as expected. Here we have used our increment operator, then the decrement operator, then the addition assignment operator, subtract assignment operator, uh, multiplication assignment operator, and then the division assignment operator. Now, so far, I have only shown you the example of using these operators on a integer data type, but you can also use these operators on other data types as well. Just to give an example, you can use this addition operator on strings as well. Let me just go back to the last line, and here I'm going to comment it as using addition operator on strings. Let's have two different string. First one is hello and its value is hello. Then we have another string which is world and its value is world. So you can actually combine these two strings using the addition operator, and we can directly put it inside the debug statement as well, or you could assign the final value to another string as well. So what can I do is hello plus world, and this is going to return hello world to me because we are combining hello and world here. So the final string will be hello world. But what if you want to give a space between hello and world? The one way would be to give a space here. The other way would be to give a space here. Or third way would be to actually use a third string with just only space. So you can directly write it here within the debug statement as well, like with a space. And then you can combine hello, which is the first string, this space, which is the second string, and the world, which is the third string. Or you can also directly declare one more variable here. Let's call it space and give a space as its value, and then you can copy it here. So this is going to give you hello space world. Let me just write it here. I'm going to remove space from here, which will be hello world. And the second debug statement is going to give you hello world. So instead of using my space here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to directly paste a space between my hello and world. And now let's execute our code. Okay, so the first expression gave us the hello world without space, and the second one gave us hello space world, right? So since we now know that we can combine the strings and we can also combine them directly within our debug logs, so why don't we update our debug logs for all these operators before? So for this one, let's say I want to notify my user that this was the result of a assignment operator. So I'll simply paste my string here. I'll give a space and then maybe like I'll give a dash as well and then a space again. And then in the end, I'm going to print my value, right? It's easy to do that. Let's copy this thing everywhere. This time it's addition operator. We are going to modify that. Then the subtraction operator, then the multiplication, and then the division. So let's copy these values. Let's continue this. Let's keep on putting this statement everywhere. And now our debug logs will look much better. Let's execute this code. And now you will understand what each and every debug statement is about. The first one is about the assignment operator. Then we use the addition operator, then a subtraction operator, then a multiplication operator, a division operator, and so on, right? So our debug logs look much nicer and we can know which operator we have used in that particular debug statement. Good. We are making some good progress here, guys. Now we have some operators that operate on the Boolean values, which you can use either to check if both values are true or if they are false and how you want to treat the final outcome. So the first one will be the AND operator. Let me comment here. And before that, I'm going to declare two Boolean variables. So let's have Boolean data type and then a variable called, maybe we are already using X. So I'm going to call it first and let's set it to true. Then let's declare another variable and then its value should be false. Let's also declare another Boolean variable which we call result, and that's it. Now let me show you an example of AND operator and then I'm going to explain you how it works. So let's say I want to get the value of this result. So I'll use my assignment operator because I want to assign a value to it. And here this time I'm going to use my AND operator. So here in this expression, we have an AND operator and this is how it looks like using two ampersand symbols. And what this AND operator does is, so it's going to first evaluate its left hand side expression and it's going to check if this is true or false. And if the left hand side expression results to true and only true, then it's going to check the right hand side expression. If the left hand side expression results to false, then it's never going to check the right hand side expression. And if right hand side expression is also true, then the complete outcome of this statement is true because both left hand side and the right hand side expressions are giving a final value as true. But if the left hand side value results to false, then AND operator will never check the right hand side value and it's directly going to give you a straight answer which is false. So let me put it down like this. If both first and second is true, then the final value is true. Else it is false. So final value will be false if any of these expressions will result to false. If and only if both of these are true, then we'll get true in result. Let me just use my debug statement here to show the output. Let's put result in our debug statement. And here I'm going to use my string to give a helpful message. And let's call it AND operator. Now, opposite to the AND operator, we have an operator called OR. And the meaning of these two operators in any programming language is very similar to their meaning in English as well, where AND evaluates to both the expression. The OR is like either this or that. Both are fine. So I'll give you an example, then maybe like you'll understand it better. So let's say if I want to calculate my result based on this first and second. So I'm going to use my OR operator here, and you can use it by using two vertical bars. So if you use these two vertical bars, this means OR operator in Apex programming language. Now what this does is, if any of these two expression results to true, so like if either first is true or second is true, then the final outcome will be true. But if and only if both of these are false, then the final outcome will be false. So it's very opposite to the AND operator. So I'm going to copy my comment here. I'm going to paste it again here. And here I'll simply say if both first and second is false, then final is false, else final is true. So it's completely opposite to the AND operator. Let's use our debug statement as well. And let's name it as OR operator. Let's execute our code and see the results. So our AND operator gave us false, where our OR operator gave us true, because our first value is true and the second value is false. So as per the AND operator's definition, this is going to give us false because one of these expression or the values is false. Where as per the OR's definition, this is going to give us true because at least one of them is true. So let's talk about our next operator, which is called equality operator. And as the name says, it compares the two values and gives us the result. So here, if you want to check if first is equals to the second or not, then you can use equality operator. So let's do that. I'm going to use my result variable again. And what I'll do here, the first double equals to the second. So what this equality operator will do, it will compare the left hand side expression with the right hand side expression. And if both of these are having the same value, then the final value will be true. Let me put this within the parenthesis so that it is clear to you guys. So if both of these expression has the same value, then the final outcome of this equality operator is true. But if both of these are not having the same value, then it's going to result in false. If both expression have the same value, then true, else false. So what do you think our result value will be here? It will be false because first is not equal to second. First is true where second is false. Let's use this equality operator on our integer type as well. So what I'm going to do, first let's use our debug statement. I'm going to call it equality operator boolean. Then let's use it on the integer type as well. So what I'll do, let's compare 5 with 5. So here 5 is equals to 5. So what do you think the value of result will be? It will be true, right? Let's put it here and let's call it integer. But if I would have compared 5 with 6 or with any other integer, then it will result in false. Let's also check it on the string type as well. So let's use our result variable again. And this time we are going to compare two strings. So let's compare hello with world. And clearly these strings are not equal, right? So our result will be false. Let me put my comment here as string. So this was about the equality operator. Now we have other operators as well, like less than operator or greater than operator, which also kind of evaluates both sides of expressions and then it results in either true or false. So here doesn't matter if you are using it on the boolean type or integer type or string type, the result value is always boolean. We always get either true or false in return, and we can see the result as well. Let's check it out. So the result is always either false or true. So it's always a boolean, right? So very similar to this equality operator, we have got the less than operator as well and the greater than operator as well. And as the name says, it compares two values and check if one is less than the other or not. But unlike equality operator, you cannot use this less than operator on booleans because you cannot say that false is less than true. So either use it on integers, decimals, long, double, or maybe on your objects or other type of data types. We are going to use it on the integer here. So let's compare if 5 is less than 6 or not, which is clearly true, right? So I'm going to paste my comment here, and this symbol here is less than symbol. So what it check if 6 is greater than 5, or in other words, you can say if 5 is less than 6. So let's copy it. And then we are going to print our result. Similar to this less than operator, we have greater than operator as well. So let's comment here greater than operator, same in our debug statement. And this time we will reverse it. If 5 is greater than 6, which is definitely false, so the result will be false here. You can also combine these less than or greater than with equality operator as well, where you can check if a value is less than or equal to the second value. And these are called less than or equal to operator. So you combine the less than operator and the equality operator. For that, let's again use our result variable And this time I'm going to say if 5 is either equals to or less than 6. So here this statement is true because 5 is less than 6. So let's print this using our debug statement, and let's write one more version of this statement where we'll compare 6 with 6, but we'll keep our less than and equal to operator. So this will also give us true because here the left hand side expression is equals to the right hand side expression. So using this less than or equal to operator, we are combining the power of both of these operators that we have discussed about before. So let's copy and paste this, and this time let's call it second. Very similar to the less than or equals to operator, we have greater than and equals to operator as well. Let's copy all of this. Let's just reverse the less than symbol with greater than symbol. And as we can see, the first statement is not true because 5 is neither greater than 6 nor it is equals to 6. So this will result in false, where the second statement will be true because 6 is equals to 6. So let's paste this here and we are good to go. Let's execute our code and see the result. We have got an error on line number 80. And the reason why we got it, because we need to put this equals to symbol after the less than symbol. Remember, this is called less than or equal to, not equal to or less than, right? So we need to put our equals to symbol after this greater than or less than symbol. Let's give it another try now. It looks like our code executed fine, and let's check our output. So here we could check the output of our equality operator, which gives us true or false. Then the less than operator. So 5 was clearly less than 6, so we have got true, but it was not greater than 6, so we have got false. In our less than and equals to operator, both our statement were true, so that's why we have got true. In the greater than or equals to operator, the first one was false because 5 is neither greater than 6 nor it is equals to 6. That's it, guys. I hope you have the strength to explore couple more operators. Be with me here, and I'm sure these are very easy to use once you start practicing these operators. And the last of these operators are again very easy to use like the other ones that we have explored so far. The first one is called, you can either call it invert operator, you can also call it not operator, or you can also call it logical complement operator. I generally call it not operator because that makes sense and you will understand why. So here we have got our first and second variable. So what if you want to invert the value of this first from true to false? For that you can use a not operator, which kind of uh, negates the value or inverts the value. So if you want to assign a new value to our first variable here, this is how you can do using the not operator. This symbol here, this exclamation mark is called not operator or invert operator. And what it will do, it will change the value of first from true to false, or if it would have been false before, then it will change it to true. Let's use a debug statement to print our value. And let's print the first here. Let's print it even before inverting the value of first so that we know how the value changed after using the not operator. It's it's one of those classic before and after thing. After the not operator, the final one that we are going to explore is called a ternary operator. So let me put a comment here, ternary operator. And this ternary operator holds a lot of power and you will be using it a lot and you will understand why. First, let me create a string variable here. I'm going to call it greeting, and then I'm going to give it a blank value with two double quotes, and I have a spelling mistake as well. And I want to assign a value to greeting based on the current hour of the day. If the current hour is before noon, or if the value is less than 12, then I'll say good morning. But if it's past noon, then I would say good afternoon. So instead of using the actual time, I'm going to use something very easy here, a integer data type, and I'll name it as R. And first I'm going to give it a value as 10. So this means like 10 in the morning. So if the R value is 10, then the greeting should be good morning. Let me write it in plain English here. If R is less than 12, then greeting should be good morning. Else greeting should be good afternoon. Cool. So here ternary operator can help us because it can evaluate an expression and give us another value in return. And let's see how you can use a ternary operator. So first I need to check if R is less than 12. So we have already explored R less than operator, right? So if I need to check if R is less than 12, I'll simply check it like this. So this particular statement or expression will evaluate and will either give us true or false in return. So if it is true, then the ternary operator gives us a question mark here, which executes something or returns a value if this expression is true. So here, if this is true, then I want to return good morning, right? But what if this expression gives us false? Then you can use a colon here to define the else value. So the first value here after the question mark is the true value. If that means like if this expression returns true, but if it returns false, then you can use a colon and use another value here. And then you can assign the outcome of this ternary operator to our greeting variable here. Now let's have a look at it once again. So we have a assignment operator, and on the left hand side of it, we have a string variable. So this means we want to assign a value to our greeting variable. And how do you want to assign a value? Using this ternary operator. And what this ternary operator has, it has a condition which says if R is less than 12, and if this is true, then return me good morning. But if it is false, that means if R is past 12, then return me good afternoon. So it's easy to use and you will be using it a lot because you will be dealing with this if else condition a lot. So let's print our result of greeting using the system.debug statement. I'm going to call it ternary operator with value 10, right? And let's say greeting is this one. Now let's change the R value to maybe 13 and then again write our ternary operator, but this time it should give us good afternoon in return. So let's use our debug statement again and let's call it 13. Let's execute this code and see the output. Oh, we need to check on debug only. So you see, the first time we have got good morning because the R value was 10, which is less than 12. The second time we have got good afternoon. You can combine these ternary operators as well. So this means once this expression evaluates to true, if you want to check another expression, you can do that. So this means you can use nested ternary operators as well. And this is something for you to explore.